a tank should get me to Vegas. I fill her up and head up the 15. Wheeler dealing, no feeling. Hard shoulder, coffee holder. Life on the road, don't need a heavy load. Foot down to the floor. 70 miles an hour, but no more.
Somehow, I ended up without plans for 4th of July weekend this year, so I invited myself to my brother's house in the distant suburbs of Chicago. Because I hate air travel so much, I decided to drive. When on the plane or at the airport, you're faced with raw humanity, and it isn't pretty. So I loaded up the Honda Civic, grabbed a few GoPros, and hit the road. The first day was Friday, July 1st. I had to work the first part of the day, but still wanted to get some driving out of the way. So I made my way toward Las Vegas, Nevada. To pass the time, I decided to stop at any landmark or roadside attraction that was of interest. And also I filmed as much as possible with the intention of someday turning all of the footage into a sizzle reel. Some poor bastard's gonna have to edit all this footage together.
Foot down to the floor. 70 miles an hour, but never more.
In the past, I would just wing it when it came to hotels. I would drive until I was tired and then get off the road when I saw signs for a hotel and park the car, walk into the lobby and ask, "Hey, you got any rooms available?" But I got burned one too many times by hotels already being booked and ended up having to drive all night. So on this particular trip, I downloaded the Priceline app on my phone, and I would plan roughly 1 hour ahead, booking a hotel shortly before I got to town.
After a long day in the car, this is fairly typical.
At every turn, I was faced with soaring gas prices, but because this cost was inevitable, I decided to get my money's worth and film a parody of my favorite Adam Sandler character. I arrived late in Vegas, but that didn't really matter because the town was alive and thriving until the wee hours of the morning. On Saturday, July 2nd, I left Vegas very early in the morning and headed east on the 40. I had some car troubles near Flagstaff, but that's a story for a different time. That night, I stayed in Albuquerque, New Mexico, one of my favorite cities. On the 3rd, I again woke up very early and hit the road. The reason why I love ABQ so much is no mystery. I like to stop at my favorite restaurant and eat the best fried chicken on the planet.
This is the best chicken I ever had. It's crispy, but it's not dried out, and the seasoning is so flavorful.
After visiting Los Pollos Hermanos, I followed directions toward Chicago. Along the way, I stopped and recorded some takes for various music videos. At one such recording outside a rest stop, I was approached by a local musician who was curious about my project. He introduced himself as Omar and instructed me to go visit a bar in downtown Kansas City where he worked. Not being one to pass up an opportunity to drink beer, I booked a hotel in Kansas City, went and dropped off my shit, drove downtown, and went to the King G. There I met Christina, who served me a couple of local lagers and was kind enough to pose for a picture with me. On July 4th, I again woke up early and hit the road before sunrise. I had to endure one of the worst rainstorms of my life. At times it was almost impossible to see out of the windshield. At one point I thought about pulling over to the side of the road to wait it out, but I knew my niece Natalie was waiting for me, so I powered through. After 7 or so hours in the car, I arrived at my destination, Evergreen Lane, or as I like to call it, Equality Street.
Is that him?
Natalie had so much kinetic energy saved up for my visit that she was bouncing off the walls when I arrived. The first thing I had to teach her was how to talk to the camera and host YouTube videos. Luckily, she was a natural. Say hello.
Hello. So this is my tattoo, and then my leg is how's your day? It's Uncle Eddie's camera.
Cheese. Hi. Hi.
Say hi.
I wanna say hi.
After so much practice attaching my GoPro to various parts of my car, I thought I'd try it out on a smaller model.
Hi, Uncle, you can drive my car.
Natalie was happy to showcase her Jeep in the backyard. After that, I wanted to try an even smaller model, so I attached the GoPro to my RC Jurassic Park Jeep. The main functions of which were to run into things and to try and scare the cats, Cersei, Sandor, and Braun. Sometimes the cats are under the beds, sometimes they were up on their platforms, and sometimes up on the roof of the house. They stay out of the main floor, however, because that is the domain of Moose.
Hi, you're Moosey, yeah.
After that, the kids and I swapped techniques on how to best build a fort. We discovered the most fun way was to lean two inflated air mattresses against one another and then try and scale them like a climbing wall. I don't know if I would make a good father, but I make a damn good uncle. Tell us what we're about to do.
Clean up your cat's poo-poo.
That's right. Afterward, Natalie and I cleaned the guest bathroom where the cats had made a big mess out of their litter boxes.
Hi, my name's Natalie. This is Cat Poop Container.
I joked that we might find buried pirate treasure amongst the kitty litter, and this really seemed to capture Natalie's imagination.
We can find treasure. We are gonna find treasure.
I hope so.
You found treasure? Let's find treasure.
Yeah, let's find some treasure.
I didn't know we could.
You never know. After a week with the family, I began my journey back toward Los Angeles. Say bye.
Bye.
Say cut.
Cut.
I hit the road at 3:30 in the morning, making my first stop in Swisher, Iowa, to visit my old college roommate, Kyle Magic. After a brief visit, I hit the 80 and made my next stop, my favorite burrito place of all time, Ponchero's. As soon as the doors were open, I was in line ordering my food and proceeded to eat my burrito in the car, which was not an easy task, but I made it work. A few hours later, I noticed a loud grinding sound as I slowed my car down to grab a ticket from the automated machine. I thought about stopping and popping the hood to check things out, but then remembered that I don't know a damn thing about cars or engines. As long as the Honda was going above 10 miles an hour, everything seemed to run smoothly, so I assumed it was a problem with first gear. I drove over 1,000 miles that day, trying to keep the car at cruising speed so that I wouldn't have to deal with the problem. I eventually stopped in Dalhart, Texas. The next morning, the sound persisted and got even worse, so I made a game out of it. So the Civic is going to make some noises, and we're going to guess what he's supposed to be. You're a bunch of shoes inside of a washing machine. You're a bus dragging a bicyclist. How about a hailstorm on top of a tin garage? Freddy Krueger dragging his fingernails across a humidifier. Ain't no trouble like trouble when your car it doesn't work. Ain't no trouble like trouble when your car it doesn't work. Finally, I got the idea to lie down on the ground and visually inspect under the car. Hey, so I diagnosed my scraping problem. Turns out there's actually a loose metal panel here on the bottom. Everybody's closed today because it's Sunday. But luckily I have my trusty Gorilla Tape. All right. Problem solved. This is as good a time as any to discuss the car trouble I had on day 2. I got a flat tire running over a large piece of wood on the freeway. I took the next exit and made my way toward a gas station to check things out. By the time I stopped, the tire was completely flat and the rim was bent. I thought I was completely f***ed, but my prayers were answered as there was a auto body shop adjacent to the gas station. And then the news got even better as there was a mechanic there with professional gear to change my tire. What city is this?
This is Ash Fork.
Ash Fork, Arizona. Okay. I'm on the I-40 here, on my way to Flagstaff. Gonna try find a tire shop so I can buy a new tire. But the mechanic that helped me with my tire, he told me not to go more than 55 on the freeway. And the speed limit here is 75, and people are zooming past, you know, for 4th of July weekend. And I was reminded of Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby first starts driving again after his accident. Oh my God, are those the other cars? In Flagstaff, I was able to buy a replacement tire, although they didn't have an exact match. So now my car looks like one of those dogs with two different colored eyes. On Sunday, July 10th, I drove all the way from Dalhart, Texas, back to Vegas, stopping, of course, at the Hoover Dam to film another music video take. Hey, I'm Elliot Diviney. I'm here at the Hoover Dam. I'm your dam tour guide. Take all the damn pictures you want. After that, I proceeded to New York, dropped off my stuff, grabbed the beer, and once again hit the Vegas Strip. This time I had my GoPro with me, and boy, did I get some great footage. Of all the sights and sounds in Vegas, my favorite is by far the Bellagio Hotel. Inside the lobby, they have a big, impressive display of animals and plants, known as the Botanical Gardens. After I spent some time in there, I enjoyed the water and light display at the fountain and then made my way back down the Strip. I don't really like to gamble, but I did have some money to spend. My next stop was at the food court, where I enjoyed a generous helping of Del Taco. Then I decided it would be worth it to hire some street performers to pose for pictures with me.
I lost my heart to a lady gypsy so long ago. I forget her name, but I still remember the smell of the flowers and the way my life would never be the same.
All was going well until a couple of police officers arrested me for being too handsome. Hey, why is that so funny? After I had my fill of gypsies, I moved on to superheroes. And after that, anyone wearing a Captain America shirt. And then I started posing in front of displays and posters. Then I got lost and had to ask a couple of local cockroaches for directions. They were very helpful and got me back on my way. I went all the way down to the Venetian in hopes of taking a boat ride there, but I was apparently too late and they were already closed for the evening. Hello, I was told you'd have boat rides here at the Venetian Boat Ride Center. Hello?
I really hate that man.
I had to work my normal hours on Monday the 11th, so I left Vegas and hit the road about 4 a.m. and headed west on the Free Love Freeway, where the love is free and the freeway is long. Despite LA traffic's best attempts to slow me down and make me late for work, I made it home with about an hour to spare. One thing that's basically guaranteed is that if you road trip from LA to Chicago, you're going to have an adventure. And after 2 years of quarantining alone in my apartment and rarely leaving the building, an adventure is just what I needed. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Pretty girl on the hood of a Cadillac, yeah. she's broken down on Freeway 9. I take a look and get her engine started. Leave her purring as I roll on by, bye, bye. Free love on the free love freeway. The love is free and the freeway's long. I got some hot love on the hot love highway. Going home 'cause my baby's gone, she's gone. Though I later see a senorita, she's caught a flat trying to make it home. She says, por favor, can you pump me up? I said, muchos gracias and adios, bye-bye. Free love on the free love freeway. The love is free and the freeway's long. I got some hot love on the hot love highway. Going home 'cause my baby's gone, she's gone.
Magic hour here, sun's about to go down. Everything about this setting is magical except for me, unfortunately.